Hi, I am Tiffany Wesser, and I am the PLC lead for 3D high school art. Today, we're going to talk about needle felting on a 2D surface. So, felting. Felt is a textile that is produced by matting, condensing, and pressing fibers together. Felt can be made of natural fibers such as wool or animal fur, or from synthetic fibers such as petroleum-based acrylic or wood pulp-based rayon. Blended fibers are also common. So when you have your fiber, the one we'll be using is a synthetic fiber today, and you'll need to be pulling apart the fibers to activate them. Instead of condensing, we pull them apart first. Then as we felt them together using a needle, that is when we start to mat and condense them all together to create the structures that we are looking for. Okay. Felting tools. Some of the felting tools are very, very sharp. So the first thing you need to think about is being super careful, right? You can cut yourself. Each kit that I have gotten before has come with a nice little Band-Aid for you. So just make sure that the students keep their hands out of the way. You also, and so nobody gets hurt, okay? But they can go right through the fingers. They are very sharp. Okay? They're sharp and barbed surface that tangle and compress the wool to turn it into felt. They come in different gauges. 36 gauge needles are coarse needle that is typically used when a stronger needle is needed. Okay, they have the felting pad. That's the block on that third picture over to the right. And that is what we'll be felting into while you're doing our 2D surface. Okay, and even with the 3D surface, you can do it on that block also, just so you have your fingers completely out of the way. I did try this on a wool ball, like the dryer balls, and noticed that I definitely needed a stronger needle because I broke about 3 of them while trying to actually start my felting on the wool ball. It's very compressed and very hard. Okay, so ways to needle felt. This is working on a flat surface. So you can use a wool sheet. You set that on top of the block, and then the object you create will be a relief. So it's still a 3D form. It's just more of a 2D surface, and it's reliefs coming off of that surface. So on the left, we have a nice little bug with multiple layers on it. And then on the right is a tree with a few leaves. Okay, so starting the work. So you start with the foam block in mind first, okay? Lay the felt sheet on top. Then you are pulling apart those fibers. You get about the amount that you want. And that's when you will take that needle and you will start pressing it into the block. Okay, this is pressing all of your fibers together so they're creating one whole piece. Okay, so on this one, started with the body section right here in the blue. I added some yellow for the head, did the bottom part of the body with another purple, and you're still shaping it. You can shape it with the needle as you're going along because you'll put the actual fibers down on top of the sheet, but you'll notice that they're kind of moving all over the place. So you're going to need to use that needle to keep everything lined up, okay? And you want to go straight downward. That's kind of the key here. So in this one, I've built the body up first, then added the wings, then created the eyes. A key to doing eyes, if you have animals, is creating the eyes separately, not on top of the actual animal bug or any other structure you're doing with eyes. Separate that out first, create the eye with the white and with the black, and then felt the whole thing on top. You're going to have way more control if you set it up separately, like this image right here. The eyeballs were made over here on the felt, and then they were transferred onto the actual bug. And then you can use yarn fibers to create like stripes or make antennae, anything else that you want to add on to there. You will feel like the fibers are going straight into the block, but they are not. They're actually attaching to the back of your fabric. So you're pushing the felting through, and just slightly a little bit will show up on the back side of that sheet. Okay, and here is an example of them actually being done. Pressing those fibers in, getting the control of it, creating the shape. So you can push them up with your finger. And always keep your fingers out of the way. That is key. But you're just pressing all of those fibers together. You can see they've come through to the other side just slightly and still sitting there. So don't worry about pushing too hard through the block. It is fine. Grabbing another fiber, pulling it apart, helping loosen up the cells in there, and then creating your next shape with it. Okay, and once you get the base of your structure, then you can continue on and keep adding your embellishments, such as the other yarns, the eyeballs, and anything else that you're looking for. Those strings are right there to add in for antennae or for stripes. Okay, so that is needle felting on a 2D surface with a 2D sheet, still creating a relief sculpture of 3D, just not raised up as much as a larger 3D sculpture, just a little bit of a relief, but still an interesting, exciting idea to use with your students, something different for them that they haven't probably normally used unless they're in a fibers course, but just wonderful tool to use for your students. And I hope you enjoy. Thank you.